This is the bathing facility found in Mohenjo-daro. Some say that it was for ritual bath, others say that it was for elites only, and still others have doubts about both these conjectures. Nevertheless, it indicates the advanced nature of a civilization.
What is this Great Bath? You are all familiar with visuals of the Great Bath. It's basically a water tank which was enclosed by brick paved walls, brick paved galleries and brick paved colonnades. Now this huge tank was had an area of 12 into 7 meters and a depth of almost 2.4 meters. On the outside of the tank, one had a covering of about 3 centimeter thick of bitumen to make it waterproof. Then we come across 2 staircases from opposite sides of the Great Bath leading to the bottom of the tank. So this is very interesting, this entire structure, architecture of the Great Bath. There were rooms on the north and east of the Great Bath, and in one of the rooms there was a well, which was possibly that was the source of water for the Great Bath, and this water was changed from time to time. So from the nature of its architecture, from the nature of its planning, it's possible that it was meant for some special ritualistic purpose. Now, when you come to the domestic structures, Mohenjo-daro definitely gives the best example. How can we talk about these houses? Archaeologists have talked about these houses, which consist of rooms irregularly spaced, closing in on one or more than one courtyards. Now, these courtyards were used for more than one purpose. Collection of workshop debris, manufacturing debris have been made from part of the courtyards, some kind of household production may have carried out there, and this was also used for cooking purposes. The houses were very solidly built. The walls were more than a meter to about 2 meters thick. Then you come across doors and windows. Of course, windows, the construction of windows, it's doubtful, although some scholars have talked about it. And you hear about staircases. People talk about these staircases which lead up to possibly an upper story. So you can make out that one is getting well constructed houses. A large house of nearly 300 square meters would have about 20 rooms closing in on a courtyard. Now, apart from these houses, you come across 16 two-room quarters which were called the coolie lines by Wheeler. Now, apart from these domestic houses, domestic structures, we also come across some special purpose buildings. Now, I have already mentioned initially that about the segregation of space of these urban centers, that often Acropolis to the west, where you have Acropolis or Citadel to the west, and the lower town. So we have already seen that such segregation of space is not there at all the sites. Now, what is this citadel? It was basically it was basically a fortress adjoining the settlements, and it was meant for defense purposes. Now, as I already mentioned, that this segregation of space was not noticed everywhere. At Mohenjo-daro, Mitathal and Kalibangan, you see such a segregation of space. You don't see it in Harappa, Banavali or Lothal. Now, let us take off Mohenjo-daro, which is the most well recorded here. The citadel here enclosed certain high walls and towers, and we come across these special buildings within this citadel. You all know about the Great Bath, about the pillared hall, elite residences and the granary. Now, close to the Great Bath, one comes across this huge platform on which there are these 27 smaller plinths separated by narrow passages and arranged in 3 rows of 9 each. From the nature of these structure and seeing a similar structure at Harappa, archaeologists have come to the conclusion that this is the granary.